Alright, welcome back to another draft video here on the Ecomood Games YouTube channel. Writing solo today. I don't have my co-commentators, so let's see how this goes. So today I'm going over a draft I played, I believe November 22nd, if I recall correctly. We drafted a pretty sick Quinlan Green deck. I made an overview slide as well here, which shows we went 5 and 3. I think we placed second or third at this draft. If you want to read the full details, you can scan that QR code on the bottom right. That takes you to the Substack, and you're going to want to read battle log number 27. Has the details of this draft that took place at Paradise Games. So let's go ahead and get into the actual draft video itself. So just a quick note, I'm playing this video back at 125 speed. This was a 30-minute video, so there's a little bit more downtime. So if you see the cards coming out of the packs super quickly, I'm not, on some crackhead energy over here. Yeah, the previous draft, we drafted Obi-Wan, so we opened 2 of them here. And hoping we get something interesting in the third one. I don't really want to draft Obi-Wan again, although he is one of my favorites to draft right now. We do get a Yoda, and we see that we're past, I believe that's a Newt Gunray and a Quinlan Vos. I keep one of the Obi-Wan because he's just that good. I don't think Newt's great in limited. Maybe in certainly would be better in draft than sealed, I think. It's just a little bit more pool dependent. But playing something like Quinlan into Newt Gunray feels really good for the Quinlan player. So I think even the existence of Hotshot Blaster, cards that just ping damage around or disruptive burst existing makes battle droid tokens much harder to use. So we ended up with Quinlan Vos, Obi-Wan, and Pre-Vizsla. I've kind of written off Pre-Vizsla entirely. I've never tried him. I just don't think there's enough card draw effect, especially in limited, to really warrant building around his ability. I would much rather play a Maul than a Pre-Vizsla deck for limited. So we get started with the first pack here. So I'm pretty much looking into going either green-yellow or green-blue, because I'm going to play Obi-Wan or Quinlan here. This is a good pack. There's Pelta. Hello There's also really good. The Camino is not bad, but I don't think it's good enough as a first pick out of the pack here. Padme's not terrible either. If I had already locked in into going Quinlan, but I think at this point I just take this Pelta because it's just universally good in either of the 2 combinations of blue-green or yellow-green. Yeah, so we start with Pelta Supply Figure. I think this is a really good card. 3/6, big booty, hard to kill in space. So I think this is, out of that pack, I think that was a perfectly valid pack 1, pick 1 there. There's a little more wobble on this table that we ended up playing on, only because I think this was one of the plastic tables in the last draft we were playing on the wooden table, I believe. Or even if it was the same table, I don't recall. We had, I think, a full complement of 8 players at this draft. I don't recall exactly. This pack's not great. There's another Pelta. There's a Geonosis, which is not bad. Relentless Rocket Droid is also pretty good, but I don't think I'm going into those colors. At least there's not some other bomb red card that would move me towards that direction. So I'm kind of between actually the Rocket Droid. The Creative Thinking is not terrible either. But I just take the Pelta because having space is pretty good in this format. Yeah, the player to my right in this pod is a little bit slower, so we have a little bit more downtime in between the packs here. So let's see what happens. I guess maybe diversifying the pick there with the Death by Droids might have been better, just to give me a little more um, like ability to swap. There's nothing really great in this pack. I get maybe Heroes on both sides is not bad as a quasi reach card to give one of your units the buff and the Saboteur, but I just take another ship, the Subjugating Starfighter. It's better with Quinlan Vos because you get that extra ping, so this thing can ambush in for as a 4 attack unit. I mean 3 and then ping 1, so it can kill 4 HP. But I don't really think there's a ton of 4 HP space units out there. I think ETA2 Interceptor might be the only one. But so yeah, I'm not really concerned. I'll speak of ETA2. It does show up here. There's a resupply in the pack. I don't remember what I take here actually. I take the resupply. You guys know I'm a big fan of resupply. Just ramping in this format feels really solid, especially when your opponent can't answer like your earlier flip. But I suppose if you're playing against blue, for example, and you resupply into your 5 deploy leader, they could still play a 3-drop like Perilous Position or the Hello There. Take Captive, ATT, Vanguard. I think either of those two are good. I've drafted a lot of green here, so I'm kind of starting to lock myself into green. But it has seemed fairly open from what I've seen here. I take the Take Captive. Also really solid card. Quasi removal, and if you take captive on like your leader, it's even harder for them to deal with. This is especially true for Obi-Wan, except Obi-Wan's a sentinel, so they'll be forced to hit into him anyway. So that's also kind of maybe a little counterintuitive. There's a second resupply here. I'm not a huge fan of the 501st Liberator. I think it's decent. I mean, if you play it just as a 3-cost 3/3, it sucks. I mean, of course you want to play for the Republic. It's probably best in a Padme deck because you probably have everything Republic. And yeah, we just take the second resupply here. Having 1 resupply is good. Having 2 is great, and then having 3 feels borderline broken because in a 30 card deck, I don't know what the odds are exactly, but you have really good odds to draw into it. I think that was a pretty good pick there. Hotshot V-Wing, drop in. Defense Carrier isn't bad here, but I think I like the Hotshot V-Wing a little bit better. Drop in isn't bad in this format either. I forget what I take here actually, I don't recall. In hindsight, I'd probably take the V-Wing. Oh, I end up taking the Ion Tank. Yeah, I guess that's somewhat fine. I wasn't completely decided on yellow green at this point. Had I made that decision already, I'd probably take the V-Wing instead. Geonosis, Obedient Vanguard, Hotshot Blaster, Shaak Ti are among the options here. Shaak Ti I'm also kind of a little bit lukewarm on. I don't think she's necessarily bad, but it feels like most of the time when you play her, you kind of just pray that they don't just instantly kill her or have some kind of removal. So you just play her and hope like, okay, I hope she lasts for a while. So we've only drafted green and 1 single blue card. So we're not exactly locked into any particular color combination. Yeah, I think here I notice I don't have a ton of units yet. So I'm getting a little bit concerned. I end up taking this Creative Thinking. That's the first yellow card we pick up. So I think now we just start to see like how many yellow cards can we pick up in the next few packs, or blue. Like what's the quality of cards that are going to come back. There's a foil Creative Thinking and a wolf pack. I kind of like wolf pack. It's because it's a 1-drop, so if your opponent plays a 1-drop on turn 1 in a Quinlan deck, you get the ping. The bounce isn't entirely relevant in this format. Maybe if you're playing the favorable delegate, you can bounce them back, draw another card. So that card's, I don't know, it's kind of mid, to be honest. Steadfast Senator, Parliamentarian. Yeah, I think that Heroes on Both Sides was probably the best pick. That might have been the one that wheeled, actually. I don't recall. I missed that last card. Let me rewind real quick. That was a pretty fast pick. Oh, the Senator. Is that Independent Senator? Yeah, Independent Senator. I've seen some people use that card somewhat effectively. Jesse. That was just kind of a take. Like, I don't want other people to take it, I guess. And the last one was an unplayable. I think it was the Squadron of Vultures. That card seems weird to me, but then again, I haven't really played a lot of villain in this format, so maybe I'm missing out. I should definitely try it. I've had some opportunities to play villain, but I don't know, something about the heroes I think just seem a little bit better to me right now. I'm also kind of wondering like if Jesse is worth playing off aspect for 5. Probably not, but he does attack for 5, so he might not be too bad. Yeah, Hyperfoil. Yeah, this was a funny pack. I think I was telling Jim on my left, like, oh, I have to take the Foil Cad Bane, and there's a Palp. Even the Hyperspace Hello there, this is a pretty good pack. There's also a, what's it called? Let me move this over to the sideboard here. Oh, Freelance Assassin that I really love in Quinlan. Yeah, I think at this point, with only having taken 1 blue, we're probably going into yellow. Yeah, Cad Bane's a good pool here. I think he's even viable at 9 because you can capture 3 units to clear like a Sentinel. Once you're at the 9 resource, you should be somewhat close to finishing the game. Either you're gonna win like in a few actions or you're gonna lose shortly. But yeah, I think Cad Bane is very playable for 9. Same thing with Emphas Nest, playable for 9. Even those exploit cards that have like an inbuilt way to kind of ignore the aspect penalty by sacking something, like a Dooku for 8 in a hero deck, is probably fine too. I take the Wolfpack. I think this is a mistake. Taking the other Take Captive might have been better. Wolfpack doesn't really do much, and it dies to opposing Quinlan, so if I play against other Quinlan decks, I just get punished. So I think there I should have taken the other Take Captive instead of the Wolfpack here. But maybe, you never know. Maybe there's some kind of application where you can heal one of your units that you pick up. This pack doesn't have too many amazing cards. Clear the Field. I've liked the idea of Clear the Field during spoilers, but I don't know. I'm a bit cold on Clear the Field right now. I feel like it's good and limited if your opponent is playing like a Token Swarm type of deck, but usually you can just ping them away with, or like kill them kind of easily with your bigger units. So I don't know if I necessarily like I don't know. I don't know if I really like Clear the Field right now. Which one was this one? B2 Legionnaire. Yeah, that card's solid. My low end is pretty bad, so that's the hindsight of having the recording after, right? But I think maybe there it's okay to play to pick up the Coruscant Guard instead of the B2, but B2 is just like a beefy Sentinel. That's probably good to have. Yeah, it's a good pack here. It's between these 3: Breaking In, Clear the Field, Freelance Assassin. I think Freelance Assassin's probably the best because you can play it as a 5-drop that hits something for 2, and then if it's a 3, you hit them for a 3rd one with the Quinlan ping. So, yeah, that card's really solid. Prisoner of War, probably not bad either. I had missed that it actually can capture across arenas, which is pretty nice. it might be the only. Oh, I guess Sanctioner Shuttle also captures across arenas in this set, but it has a coordinate condition, so it's not as easy to pull off. But there's definitely something there. Yeah. So far, I think taking B2 versus Coruscant Guard is one point of maybe contention. And I guess to take captive over that second Wolfpack. Yeah, this one has Republic Commando. I don't completely hate, but the security team is probably just the best card in there. I'm kind of surprised it made it to me. I'm picking up a lot of yellow here in this pack too, which is kind of interesting. And then we're not seeing as much green come around. Oh look, getting the Bactoid is also interesting. I don't recall what the players were playing to, like a couple seats to the left of me here. But yeah, that Freelance Assassin coming back is pretty good. That's one of my favorite cards. Yeah, I've got a little bit of a hold up here on the packs. B1 is interesting. It's kind of a liability though if you're playing to opposing Quinlans, because if you start with initiative and you play your 3-1, they can just blow you out by playing their own 2-drop, which is kind of interesting for this format. Strategic Acumen is the only viable card here. I guess if you have if you're trying to get coordinate ability set up, maybe the Headhunter Squadron is okay. I've come to like Strategic Acumen in certain decks, especially if you have like a relatively weak leader like Rex. He only does 2 unless you have like Cody for buffing things, but or if your leader gets like perilous positioned or something, you can probably play it and kind of have some backup use where your attack won't really do anything. So that one's kind of interesting. Sword and Shield Maneuver, kind of a trash card actually. It's just super slow. Heroes on both sides is the better of the two, like heroism cards, in my opinion. Sword and Shield Maneuver, I've never actually played it. Let me know in the comments if you think this card is good or not. I mean, it does have Republic trait, which might be relevant for in some instances. I mean, Padme is Republic. The Jedi getting Sentinel is interesting if you're playing the Knight of the Republic, because then you can force them to give you the tokens. But overall, I don't think the Sword and Shield Maneuver is very good. And then we get the B2 or the attack platform, which that card, that's such like a Magic the Gathering card, 5/2 for 3. I mean, it's a very vanilla card, but if this thing gets a hit off, I mean, that's a 6 of your base health, which is pretty significant. So yeah, the deck isn't looking bad here. I think we just need to shore up some early drops. I'm sorting by cost here, which is a little annoying given that I have this tripod here. But like our 2-drops are kind of weak and we don't have a lot of great. I mean, we have more 1-drops than 2s, which I think is a problem in this format because a lot of the 1-drops don't do that much. Like the Senators kind of just sit around, do nothing. Even though I have seen some games though where someone uses Independent Senator to just keep exhausting something, which can actually be pretty good. If you have like other debuff effects, you could even use it on bigger units. So he's actually pretty interesting. All right, we're in this pack. Yeah, Emphas Nest is the clear take here. There's some other good cards here, like Armored Saber Tank, Corvette, Favorable Delegate's kind of interesting, especially that I have 2 wolf packs. Sanctioner Shuttle, but this has to be an Emphas Nest grab. Her ability is just like kind of crazy good. Like I've played games where this can just lock out your board and then you can't really respond to it. She's really solid. So now we have a really good top end with Cad Bane for 9. to capture and then Amphi's Nest to keep bouncing units. So as long as you can keep dodging some well-timed vanquishes from the opponent, we have a pretty good selection here. Yeah, this is a kind of a tough choice here. I think, given that I don't have a lot of 2-drops, I wouldn't be upset about taking the Lux. 3/2 stat line's good, especially in Anakin decks for a turn 1 drop. But Cody does provide like a really good coordinate payoff. But yeah, I think given that my 2-drops are kind of weak here, I think Lux might be the better pick here. And he has a somewhat relevant ability if your opponent is playing exploit abilities, where you can stand something up or exhaust one of their guys. So I think it's pretty good actually. It can help you get like an extra attack off in a round, which could make or break the game. Yeah, I think Lux and Freelance are probably some of my favorite cards for yellow. The fact they're neutral means they can just pretty much go into any yellow deck in limited. The Underworld trait for Freelance Assassin doesn't do much, but Lux being Separatist is very relevant. It's a pretty sweet Bo-Katan. There's another Lux in here. This is an easy take, I think. Synchronized Strike is cool. Political Pressure is kind of cool. But I think Lux is the better pick here. Political Pressure might be best. I mean, it's actually good with both Rex and what's his name? Quinlan. Because with Quinlan, you can just ping the droids away. And with Rex, you get your enable. You can get your coordinate up better, so it's not bad. Republic Arc is probably the best card here. I didn't see anything else that was really significant in this pack. Oh hey, I just realized I forgot to turn on the card pick view, so let me turn that on here. Okay. Well, that's my bad. Remember, this is new content. Ryloth Militia is probably better here. Actually, no, I think this phase 1 is better than Ryloth. Again, like, I think knowing that Anakin exists in the format, you have to just play around it, and having a 3/2 unit is probably better than a 2/3. Don't tell me I take the Ryloth. It should be clearly the phase 1. Come on, don't make this mistake. It's actually, wow. Second Shaak Ti? Okay, that's actually very surprising. That I would say that's another mistake, actually. I already have one. I don't know if I really need a second one. Yeah, I think the 3/2 phase 1 is probably would have been the better pick there, to be honest. Yeah, phase 1 is sick. It's just a vanilla card, right? But gets a lot done. Breaking in. I don't know if I mean, having taken a previous 4-drop, I don't know if I even take that right there. I probably should have just taken the breaking in there. Like, do I really need that many 4-drops when a lot of my 2s aren't great? Probably not. Maybe my thinking was just like hidden sharpshooter can hit for 5 onto an opposing 4-drop. But like I said, I don't know. There's not that many 4-drops that have 5 HP. Maybe Daughter of Dathomir. Yeah, I guess I can look it up while this next pack is coming. Yeah, Daughter of Dathomir is a 3/5, so I guess that's 1. But it would still die anyway. I don't know. It feels like you're investing a lot just to kill it. There's a Ryloth. There's a Coruscant Guard. Do I make the right choice and take Coruscant Guard? I hope I do. Okay. Yeah, we made the right choice. Yeah, Coruscant Guard is good. It would have been better if I take the phase 1 here. Republic Attack Pod is a nice little, top endish unit. You can play it for 5, which is pretty good. Even at 6, it's not bad. Yeah, this is I already have one B1 security team. I don't know if you need 2. Republic Attack Pod is good here. Yeah, now that I'm watching this back, having taken the Shaak Ti there over the phase 1 makes me feel even worse, because now I would have had 2 phase 1s, which is even better for the opening play, like a 2-drop. So, yeah, I guess, note to self, prioritize your 3-2s in the format. The Cody came back, which is very surprising to me. This has to be a Cody grab. It's just such a good coordinate payoff, giving everything +1/+1. The overwhelm could matter if you're hitting into token units, but yeah, Cody's really good. In this format, that's to be specific. I don't know if he does much in Standard or Premier. Holdout Blaster, not bad. I missed that last card. Was there a second holdout? I don't know. Let me rewind real quick here. Or actually coming to the end of the draft picks here. Creative Thinking. Yeah, I think instead of Creative Thinking, I should have just taken the Volunteer Soldier. Like, getting the token is good, but again, like, if I'm going Quinlan, just playing the unit is probably better. In Pursuits and Encouraging Leadership. Let me add these, and then we can go over to the other view. Alright, so let's see. I think the deck came out pretty good, actually. Yeah, I already said it, but taking the Shaak Ti over the phase 1. Having a second phase 1 would bring me up to 2, 3 with Coruscant Guard, 5 with Lux, and then a B1 is kind of the worst turn 1, but it hits back for 3, which I've said it before, but hitting back for 3 is probably the most important feature of the 2-drops in this format. The fact that yellow gets Lux as well, I think is really good, and the B1. So yellow might be one of the stronger colors playing into Anakin, just for the fact that like your 2-drop doesn't get free traded by their 2-drop. Like if they play Ryloth, they can hit up to 4, which kills a lot of other units, but their Ryloth's gonna die in the process here as well. And Pursuit's kind of a trash card. I mean it's fine if you're playing stuff like Political Pressure, where you get tokens because your opponent doesn't want to give you a random discard, but I don't really know if I like this card. It just feels like a waste of an action, in my opinion. I've been liking Holdout Blaster a lot, especially into the token decks. Encouraging Leadership, I've never actually tried. Seems kind of bad to me. But the rest of the deck looks pretty good. We got a good top end with Cad Bane and Infant's Nest. The attack pod, Bactoid is always, it's just like, if you're playing green, you have to take a Bactoid if you see it. Double Resupply is solid. We got some good, we got one Capture Source, which I think that could have been a second one. I think I took a Creative Thinking over the second Take Captive, so that's definitely a mistake there. Clone Drive Trooper, yeah, a lot of the 1-drops are kind of underwhelming. Honestly, even just like Strategic Acumen played as a 1-drop on your leader to give it +2 HP is probably even better than just playing these other 1-drops. Although I will say Holdout Blaster is kind of a good sideboard card if you're playing against villain decks that have tokens, because just playing this on any random unit, even your turn 1 play, to shut down like a droid deployment turn, if you had initiative, they go droid deployment, and then you play Holdout, kill one of their guys, is pretty solid actually. The +1 attack is kind of negligible. I think playing it just for the ping is probably useful. It's very obvious to play for Django, of course, but even in a hero deck, it's probably fine. Maybe it's a sideboarded card, honestly. I don't know if it has too many applications outside of droid killing. The +1 is kind of negligible in my opinion. Sword and Shield Maneuver is kind of a trash card too. I'm not a fan of it. Just feels like it doesn't accomplish many things. Yeah, the only other card in here that I'm kind of not really high on at the moment is Creative Thinking. Like I said earlier, it just feels like it doesn't do anything. I mean, yeah, you can exhaust a non-unique, which there's definitely a lot of good ones. You get a clone, which might be okay. We didn't draft a Plo Koon here, which would have been really good. But so to that end, what I mean is like, do you really need the Creative Thinking when you're not? You get the clone. The exhaust could be good, but what are you exhausting that really matters? I'm not sure. Like if your opponent has a Sentinel out there, even if you're exhausting it, I guess you don't take 5 on your base or into your Sentinel, but it just, I don't know, it just feels like this card is not great. Maybe if you're playing like Creative Thinking or like Heroes on both sides and you get Aid from the Innocent, it could be decent to just help you dig, but don't you discard the other cards along with it? I don't actually recall, but that's another card I've never seen anyone play in draft, Aid from the Innocent, but maybe as the format moves on, we can see some more. So people trying out weirder stuff or just the evolution of the quote meta for limited. But yeah, anyway, this deck went 2-1. I lost in the last game against Watt Blue. First game, he had like a really sick trench loop going. Like he would play a trench, sack another trench, bring back some other units that he sacked. Yeah, his late game was just extremely powerful. I won the second of the 3 games by playing a Cad Bane and like capturing I think 3 of his units to clear his board, and I don't think he had an answer to it. And the third game was actually really good. It was really close. I was about to win. I captured my Cad Bane, and then he top decked his I think his Singleton Vanquish to clear the Cad, and I think that was it. I think I was at the point where playing the Cad and then getting one attack off with him wins me the game. But yeah. Anyway, if you see Cad, even if you're not playing villain, if you're playing yellow, this is worth 9. I think it's fine. If you're playing villain, this is also worth 9 if you're not playing yellow. So, alright, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.